Howdy Blue Dooley. We're heading up to Shelley this morning. It's Friday the 28th of October. Doing a little work vlog video. I got some work to do on the pickup truck, so that video will come out next weekend. And just kind of a nice fall day.
Half a mile, take exit 108 toward east 1250 north.
Got the GPS reminding me where I'm going. I kind of know where I'm going, but I don't remember every street name, so got the GPS helping me out today. Going to Shelley first.
Take exit 108, then turn right onto east 1250 north.
Getting used to the new truck still a little bit. The automated manual works pretty good most of the time.
Turn right onto east 1250 north.
Okay, you don't have to remind me every 100 feet. And now that I figured out the Jake brake has 4 levels, not 3. It's got low, medium, high, and then maxi brake, which is maxi brake is when you want to stop, like right now, and it'll actually downshift through every gear. High doesn't quite do that. It'll skip gears, kind of. We got the GoPro plugged into one of the charge plugs, so hopefully we'll have kind of an interesting time lapse of the drive from the shop out here to Shelley. I don't know if I'll post all of it in this video, as we left before the sun was up, so there's probably a little bit of video that you can't see anything because the sun's just shining right into the camera. We don't have 2 full loads, but I got 2 stops to make today. I got a house, and then I got 3 ASAPs we're dropping off first here in Shelley. Mack so far is averaging pretty much right dead on 6 miles to the gallon. I've put 4,500 miles on it so far, and compared to the Peterbilt and the Kenworth, the only thing I don't like about the truck is the fuel tank size. 90 gallons just isn't cutting it. I can't actually make it from Jerome to Rexburg and then back to Jerome on a tank. I really can only make it to about Burley, which is 40 miles short. So that's a little frustrating. But oddly enough, this truck has steel spring suspension, as I showed in the other video. Kenworth I had been driving for most of my time here was a quad bag setup, so it had 4 airbags per axle, and then the Peterbilt was just a standard 2 bag per axle. And the truck kind of rides between them both. Doesn't ride as smooth as the Peterbilt did, but because this truck's wheelbase is longer than that Kenworth, it rides better than the Kenworth. I did adjust my trailer air ride suspension a little bit, lowered the back end of the trailer about 4 inches, just to gain me a little more height on how high I can stack stuff. So we're trying that out today, seeing how the trailer behaves with a lower ride height. Being air, it shouldn't actually affect it at all, because it has a load leveler on it. So when you put weight on it, it'll increase the back pressure to keep the ride height the same. But really enjoying the new truck, as this is the first new truck I've gotten to drive that somebody else didn't put a bunch of miles on first. The Kenworth, to remind you, was a 2006, and it had 600 and almost 70,000 miles on it when it caught fire on me. I don't have any pictures because I was more concerned with making sure the fire didn't spread from the truck to the field. And there wasn't really much to see anyways. The Peterbilt we had for 3 months was just about 2.5 years old, maybe 3 years old. Had 140,000 on it. We took it to Peterbilt 3 times. Once every month we had it for something.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto South State Street.
The first one was for the radio, because I'm not driving a truck without a radio. Because the only time I turn the radio off is when I'm filming. And then the other 2 times were for kind of major concerns. That truck had a wet kit on it, so we took it in to have them reseal the PTO as it was leaking.
Take the next left onto
Leaking
South
pretty
State
good. And then the second thing we had to take it in for was the DEF level sensor to tell you how much fluid was in that tank. Quit working. And if the truck doesn't think it has any DEF, it derates the truck and doesn't run properly, even though the tank was full. The Kenworth, I didn't really have any problems with it, and I drove it for 6
Continue
years.
on South State Street for half a mile.
Let's see here, we had little electrical issues with it, and major work. The only thing really major on it was I blew the radiator hose coming out of Horseshoe Bend heading into Boise. So it was a pretty good truck. The Mack does have a little more legroom and headroom than it, which is why I like it. Horsepower wise, the Caterpillar in that Kenworth had 40 more horsepower. It's not really enough to be super noticeable, which you would think having 2.2 more liters of displacement would have
right onto Center Street, Taylor Road.
More horsepower than that, but it didn't. Mack is getting a mile and a half better fuel economy than the Caterpillar did. Even when I first started, that Caterpillar, 5 and 5.5 miles to the gallon was all it was ever going to get. Didn't matter if it were empty or heavy. Heavy, it'd get worse. Like some of them great big houses on that truck, you're down to about 4.5 miles to the gallon. So fuel economy wise, the Mack's doing better. Actually gets about the same as the Pete. The Pete was averaging low 6s. And the Mack's not even broke in yet, so once the engine gets broke in, loosened up a bit, I expect it'll probably get up 6.5, 7 miles to the gallon, which is not too shabby for a truck that's basically got a 4-inch lift kit on it compared to a normal truck. Which is kind of surprising, because I'd have thought the Kenworth would have done a little better than even the Pete, because it sat lower, the bumper sat closer to the ground. The DEF fluid, I can go pretty much.
You will arrive at your destination.
I got to fill up every 3rd tank, and that's not dropping the DEF gauge down to empty. That's still got between 3/4 and half a tank. And I try to keep the truck and fuel tank and the DEF at half or better, because I don't know, not every place I've stopped to fill up has a nozzle for DEF fluid. There's still a few smaller truck stops where they don't have those at the pump. 3 tanks isn't too bad, I think, for the DEF. It hasn't regened at all, but I basically only get in the truck and go halfway across the state. I don't do too much close by stuff. So we're here where we need to be. We'll get unstrapped so these guys can grab these couple trusses off the side. I'll throw you on my hat, and we'll see what we can get. Nice brisk morning. I didn't film us taking them off because we had to do it by hand, and apparently that was rubbing on a plate. So we're going to use my dull knife, very dull knife. I was going to cut through it, but apparently my knife's too dull. And the best part of the job is we got puppers to pet. Huh. Can you say hi to everybody on YouTube? So that'll get pitched. I'll have to throw a new strap over here. I like trying to cut them apart. That way nobody can take them out of the trash and use them. So we'll put that one there. And this one isn't in terribly much better shape. But unfortunately, this new trailer, not all of these hooks will take the wider hooks. They got to use narrow hooks. So I'm going to get strapped back down, and we'll get heading out to the next one. But as you can see, we just pulled them away from the load and just laid them down one at a time. Now I know what you might be asking yourself, or asking me while you're watching this video, is why didn't you unload with the machine? And the very simple answer to that is the framer isn't sure where he left the key to that machine, so he couldn't get it started. Okay, quit. No. There you go. Put you in manual mode so you do what I want you to do. We'll loop around the dirt pile and around the other job, and then climb back up on the road. I could go through all the weeds right in front of me, but I don't know what's in those weeds. I don't want to run over a valve box or an electrical box. Make sure we don't hit the tails on that other load with this load. We just got a little 12-minute hop up to the next job. We missed that. Yep, missed the shitter. Transmission, it clutches really smooth. The only issue I think I'm really going to have with the automated manual is when I stretch the trailer, shrink the trailer, or slide the tandems. I don't think the computer likes me holding the trailer brakes and trying to move the truck to do that kind of stuff. We're not going to jump back on the highway. We're going to actually hang a right out of here and just go down to 5th Ave West and then head north. And we'll pretty much be where we need to be. Do a little window down driving. The truck's thermometer says it's a beautiful 35 degrees outside. I am over the hot, that's for darn sure. Cool weather is appreciated. Not sure what that guy's doing. Not sure that guy knows what he's doing. We're on the south side of Idaho Falls. Oh, that address was Shelley. We're going to go up here to the south side of Idaho Falls. It's actually a subdivision we've been in lots and lots and lots of times. I'd probably guess I've personally have hauled 20 or 30 homes in here. The other driver probably around that 20 mark. And I don't know if we ever sent the little truck up in here. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I'm going to turn you off. We'll just use the GoPro. And we'll get in where we're going. You know what? It records a lot better if you...
Take the next left onto North 12th.
Records a lot better if you actually hit the record button. So that's maxi brake. And it'll rev the engine up over 2,000 RPM. Like I said, it'll downshift pretty good.
West for 4 miles.
It's just kind of odd that it has 4 settings instead of just 3, which is what I'm used to. I will say this, the Mack Granite, the wiper blades on it are about 1,000,000 times better than the Kenworth or the Peterbilt. I had a mix of sleet and rain and snow yesterday a couple of times. And I didn't have to get out ever and knock ice off of them. They worked beautifully. That T800, man, 3 or 4 minutes in the snow and or sleet, and they'd be froze up. And you'd almost have to stop every 5 or 10 minutes to knock the ice off of them because they were just worthless in the snow. And I never got the Peterbilt in cold weather, but that thing, those wiper blades were so damn long, they weren't really wiper blades, they were more like sticks that just smeared shit all over the windshield. No amount of rain or precipitation would ever get those things to work properly. And I don't know about you, but working wiper blades really kind of important. That's 113th South. We're going just north of 65th. And hopefully I'm talking loud enough so you can actually hear me. This is the first in-cab video we're doing with the Mack. So audio levels, we'll have to play with those a little bit. This does have less wind noise than the T880 or the little Kenworth, that's for damn sure. Being a little smaller engine, it's also a little quieter than that big old cat in that 800. So I'm hoping to do these videos without having to yell over wind noise and such. Of course, the little squeaks and rattles are from all the crap I gotta have in the cab with me. My one of my extended mirrors, all my flags, a little bucket of nails, roll of plastic flags underneath the seat. So the stuff you're hearing squeaking isn't the Mack, it's all the crap I have in it. In fact, actually there's a box jammed between the seat and the dash that's probably what's squeaking. But really enjoying the new truck. With the exception of that one little airline that was causing an issue, truck runs great. I'd like more horsepower, but I said the same thing about the Peterbilt and the Kenworth, the other Kenworth, the other Kenworth. And I know a lot of people are going to go, well, you're not that heavy. And that's probably what the person who ordered the truck was thinking. Well, you guys aren't running 80,000 pounds. True, we're not. However, when you're 14 feet tall and 13 foot wide, and the load is really irregular shaped, aerodynamics, man, that amount of drag will just bog anything down. And that's actually what kills the EVs on their towing. It's not that they don't have enough power to tow, but the aerodynamic drag from a trailer just annihilates the range they have. Okay. Apparently 81 kind of curves. So that's just regular high Jake, you heard. Engine brake, whatever you want to call it. And I can't really see back there. It looks pretty clear from what I did see. There wasn't anybody coming for a little while. The heater works great. The air conditioner works great. Those are also important things in my mind. And if you watch the other videos, I did point out the cup holders. The cup holders in this truck way better than past Granites or the Kenworth or that damn Peterbilt. It actually holds your drink in place, so you don't have to worry about spilling anything, or at least whatever you're drinking out of falling out of the cup holder. That Peterbilt, you looked at it wrong, and whatever you had the cup holder fall out of it. And for people who don't drive a lot, that's probably not going to really be important, but if you know, you know. So good cup holder, good heater, good wipers.
In a quarter mile,
Those are
turn
important.
right onto Park Point Boulevard.
And we're up here back to 65th South, which is usually the road we take into Idaho Falls. We're pretty much only on the south side or the north side of town. There's not really a lot going on in town. Just because most of it's already been built. I do know of a job kind of in the older part of Idaho Falls coming up. Not sure when. They haven't even poured the foundation yet, so it'll probably be maybe December or January before we take a house in there. I just took in the garage, or the shop I should say.
In 800 feet, turn left onto Palisade Drive.
But the houses you can see over to the right, I think I did all of them but one. And they're actually cutting in more roads in here. I'm not sure how quick stuff's gonna pick up, because of course it has slowed down a little bit due to interest rates and all that stuff.
In 800 feet, you will arrive at your destination.
But we'll be close, hopefully. We're going to streets that, despite having been here for, I think, think they finished these about 2 years ago. They're still not on Google Maps. Pretty much once we pass this road, all of this is new. I'm on Lemhi Street. That's La Cosa. I think it's this one right here. Yeah. It's about half of the houses you're seeing on the right side of the truck I brought in. Alan's been in here quite a few times. I don't know if Rudy ever got in here. We want 559.71. Probably one of these three foundations here on the right. 59.95 is the one in the middle. So 59.71 is the one we want. I think we're going to do a 3-point turn up here so I can back in. We already got all the blinky lights on. Just don't know how soft that stuff is. Turn on the other. All the blinky lights. Every light that can blink we'll have on right now. Have a magnet mount with me, but it's not the best. So we'll save the outside shots for after I find a better, stronger magnet to stick the GoPro to. Although I did pick up some other 3M double-sided tape mounts, so maybe I might just find a good spot on the trailer and just stick one of those to it. Since I'm pretty sure we're going to be keeping this trailer a while, I don't think anybody's going to throw a fit if I stick a GoPro mount to it. And if they do, it's not like it's going to be that hard to take it off and pulled up further. I do know people are moving in about as fast as they can get them built. Alright, we're in, so we're gonna get unstrapped, and then maybe we'll try a fun angle for unloading. think that's going to do it for this video. Just kind of a little work vlog kind of thing. Did a little unloading. Hopefully it did some time lapse. We'll do a little time lapse on the way out of town. And of course it's Halloween weekend. So I hope everyone has a good Halloween. And you get lots of candy if you take your kids out trick-or-treating. And hopefully they get a lot of the kind of candy you like that they don't. Because I know that was my dad's favorite part of trick-or-treating. Was making sure my sister and I got all the kinds of candy he liked. And didn't really worry about what we got. So I hope everyone has a good weekend. I got about 2.5 hours back to the yard. And I don't know if we'll get loaded or not for Monday. Have a good weekend, and we'll catch you in the next one.